Yeah, good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know, my name's Gary and I'm on a mission to build an off-grid regenerative farm, grow food, bring people close to nature and to celebrate the Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. So here we are on the land. On Wednesday, I woke up. It was the day of the container delivery. I woke up with, I think, a little bit of anxiety around whether the container was going to be able to get delivered or not. You know, the company that delivered these containers sent me a list of precautions for delivery, as long as your arm. And I was quite concerned that the driver wasn't going to be able to get across the hard standing and drive up the field. He was going to have to leave the field, the hard standing, and come up onto the grass, onto the pasture. And it had been raining quite a lot the week before. And it was quite soft, and so I had some concerns around whether that was even going to be able to happen. But Wednesday morning I woke up and I sat down and I prayed, and I said to God, "You're in charge. I'm doing this. This is your will." I said, "All I request is send me an optimistic driver." Yeah, and then 10 minutes later I had a beep at the gate, and the driver looked out of his window. And he said to me, any other delivery driver, they would have just sacked it off. They would have aborted mission and drove back to the yard. He says, there's all sorts of complications here. But he said, not me. He said, I'll give it a go. He goes, I like challenges. And I just had the biggest smile on my face. I was just like, my prayer's just been answered. That's all I wanted, as an optimistic driver. Anyway, he come in through the gate. He went across the hard standing. He went up onto the pasture, drove all the way across the pasture, got to the location where the foundations were. And I was celebrating. I was like, yes, we did it. Woo woo. And he was like, don't celebrate too soon. He said these machines are really, they're very technologically advanced, and this pasture is sloping. And he said the tilt might not work out. He says, as I bring the container off the bed, if that vehicle tilts any more than that the sensors say that it can't, he says that the crane just stops. It just automatically shuts down. And there was a lot riding on it. Anyway, he got it off the bed. He swiveled it around, and it's just so very, very grateful. He was able to site the container nice and level, exactly where I wanted it, all in keeping with the design. And he even said, that the margins were sort of like at their maximum. He said that if the container was or the pasture sloping an extra inch, it would have shut down the sensors. So very, 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 very grateful to that driver, and very lucky that we've got this shipping container here, actually. But here it is. It's an 8 foot by 20 foot shipping container, and it's it's a single-use shipping container. So it's almost practically brand new. And if you go in there, you can smell the fresh paint. So I've got a few tools stored in there at the moment. It looks pretty pathetic, but I'm sure it's gonna get filled up as time goes on. But yeah, that's it. This is a major piece of the puzzle, a major piece of infrastructure for the farm. It's going to allow me to store tools, materials and stuff like that, so I can continue building the rest of the farm out. And it saves me sleeping in the van with bags of cement and lengths of wood running down the center of the van. So yeah, that's a major point. And it looks pretty cool, actually. It's like dark green. It sort of fits in with the landscape, sort of. I reckon if I got some palm bushes on it or some leaves, it might even look like a tree, who knows. But it's the right color. And so I'll give you an update on what else I've been doing. So I've been flat out pretty much every time I've been here trying to get this hard standing. I'm going to call it the soft standing, because it's hard in places, but we're on such soft ground that when it rains, a lot of rain, it sort of, it's a bit soft. However, you don't get stuck in, because there's enough aggregate down now to be able to get traction on your vehicles. And I've had, I had the big truck with the container that come across it. That was fine. I've had the aggregate delivery truck, and he's carrying 20 tons on just, as his load. So it does put a couple of rucks in on the surface, but to be fair, Roxy's only, what is she? She's three ton, my van. So yeah, Roxy's going to be all right. And plus, eventually, I don't want this place to have loads of vehicles. It's going to be all sort of like, it'd be like either a little electric quad or some sort of little small all-terrain vehicle with a little trailer that would just be buzzing around, you know, delivering wood chip or compost or picking up tools and resources and stuff like that. So yeah, eventually it's not going to have too many vehicles here. But yeah, I've raised the level up down in that end there, and I've had the roller out, and the roller has done a really good job, as you can see. He's left a couple of lines, but I'm quite happy with it. I might actually give it one more final roller in before I leave today, because the machines are off hiring. And yeah, yesterday had a little bit of a challenge. So we've got some. There was a, I don't know if the guys have been following the channel. There was a drainage pipe down under there, underneath that fence post, and I went right through it. And essentially what that caused is a bit of a backlog and started creating water all around the entrance. And I was worried about my gate post rotting out. So what I've done is I brought some of that perforated pipe, as you can see there. I got 2 lengths of 4-inch, because I couldn't get the 9-inch pipe in the van, it was too big. So I've got two lengths of 4-inch in there. And what I've done is I've dug a shallow trench and, you know, backfilled it with the hardcore. And yeah, actually sent the drainage pipe underneath the entrance, and we've actually got running water now. So yeah, what was happening is that running water was backing up and creating essentially a swamp right at the gate, and then it was just running out into the road and just running off down the road. So now I've sorted that out. I've actually got running water going underneath my entrance, and yeah, trying to just assist the natural flow of the watercourse. So that's a major task complete. Quite happy with that. All I've got to do today is put a fence panel up, yeah, and move a couple of bits around, put some stuff in the storage, and that's this trip finished for this time around. The next time I'm back, I'm gonna be building a compost toilet and potentially putting up a polytunnel. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode, and enjoy this glorious sunshine. Go well.